Galatians 5:22 through 26 talks about the gifts of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. And those who are Christ's have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. And if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, or envying one another. And then you can read in Galatians 5, and it talks about the things that are war against the fruits of the Spirit that God has planted in you. Those righteous things, they are there. That is what your your heart is intended for, is to grow the things of God that He has planted in your life. And those things are right there listed: love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, kindness. And when you walk in those things, you are walking righteous. You are walking as you were intended and you were created to walk. That's a list of the fruit that is already planted. The seeds are planted in your heart. And God empowers them to grow in your heart. You have to actually appropriate them. Just like to go out into our garden, I had to actually go out there and, cut some fruit off or some vegetables, or, pick the tomatoes or whatever. Little bit of effort, but oh so worth it. My experience with green beans when I was growing up, that's what green beans look like. Anybody else with me? I'd never eaten a fresh green bean or a frozen green bean. And the first time, this was just wrong. The color was wrong, the flavor was wrong, the taste was wrong, the texture was way wrong. Those were not green beans that I had come to know and love growing up. Somebody's like, really? Okay, my green bean standard was set. And it was lifeless, and it was no nutrition. And that's what it's like in our life. We have the God-empowered fruits of the Spirit growing in us: love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, kindness, faith. But we have developed a taste, and our standard is not God's standard. We have developed a taste for the lifeless, no nutrition, I'm going to do it myself. And that's what self-control is. Self-control, what we think is willpower, and it's not. It's God power. All you have to do is appropriate it. You don't have to white knuckle it. You just say, I am going to walk the way God would have me walk. I'm going to do what God has asked me to do. I'm going to love the way God has asked me to love. And then you just do it. Love is not jealousy or control or possession. I love you. We grow up in a society that says, I love you, so I must have you. I love you, so I must control you. That's maybe what you have learned in our society that love is. I love you so much that I'm jealous. I love you so much that I won't let anybody else have you. I love you so much that I have to be around you all the time. I love you so much that you can't have a life apart from me. That is not love. That's selfishness, which is the exact opposite of love. God is love. So, like canned green beans or fresh green beans? Joy is not happiness or indulgence. Joy is a power of God working in you from your spirit. Gives you strength. It's not like, hoo, everything's just great. Peace is not denial. Long-suffering isn't, I'm just tolerating you till you go away. Kindness is not the same as nice. Goodness is not self-righteousness. Faithfulness is not zeal. Gentleness isn't coddling, keeping weak. And self-control is not willpower. All of the things on that side come from God, and they are resident in you. You just might have to learn to develop a taste for them and understand and recognize them, what they really look like. So develop an appreciation for the life-giving and the authentic.